the game again like he did last time. So in this match, we have kind of the same draft as game 2 for them. Well, Roger got 5 kills ahead, and Amon was open. They took him and completely bursted him out. Can come mid-game, late-game spikes. So I want to see them play around the Raj this time. Don't just get him fed early and then abandon your win condition. Feed him early and then let him carry you to victory. So I like the setup here from Extraction. I just want to see him play around their win conditions. And it does look like they're going to run the double marksman from the side of Gosu. So it was smart to ban out the Lolita, even though we saw the Kufra picked here.
And I think on the side of Extraction, when they did pick Roger in the jungle, I do believe they had a Matilda support. They didn't have a Kufra tank. So I actually think the Kufra tank and watching him in his last gameplay, I think that's going to be a huge benefit that Roger didn't have before. There were a lot of times Roger did try to get to that backline or did try to go pick somebody out, but he just couldn't get to him, right? They were able to go back. If Kufra gets those sets, this Roger is going to be able to go in there and really bust them and burn them down. So I kind of like the change we're seeing here with the Kufra when it comes to the sets, because they already showed us they can run it, right? RRQ has shown us he's ran the Kufra. He's had some great sets. He saved the base that one time, which we thought they were going to come back and win, which they were close to, but didn't. So that game literally could have gone either way. So I do think they want another shot with the Roger in the jungle here. You've got Kag, who we know can play. She's been picked every time from Extraction. Why wouldn't she be if she doesn't get banned out? I think Team Gosu is going to have their hands full here.
Wow.
If they lose here, this is it. Extraction is taking this matchup home. We're not even going best of 5. We're only going to play 4 games. So the Kaja pick here at S5, I'm just once again going to go back to Extraction. They had the draft at the first 4 picks. Now you're throwing in their S5 pick. I think they took the draft here, Ben.
Yeah, Extraction has a really we're gonna get you and you're gonna die team comp right here, man. I mean, the Kaja, the Kufra, the Kagura, the picks that are gonna come out from this team are going to be huge. If they can get a few picks and get this Roger starting to snowball and play around him, most importantly, it's going to be game over and lights out for Gosu. But it's not like Gosu doesn't have win conditions here. They built the double marksman comp on for a reason. If they can play that Gosu game where they just sit back and kind of chill in the early game and try to win in mid and late game, they have the comp to do it here with the double marksman. No Lolita, nothing to kind of stop that DPS coming through. Finally, we see General on Natan. I don't think we've seen him on Natan today. Good to see him on a pick that we know is going to do a lot of damage and be able to carry the game. Esme into the YZ, interesting matchup. I think Esme wins that a little bit later game. So I'm expecting that Extraction tries to end this early take.
I agree. The side of Team Gosu, they need to scale, right? You talked about the double marksman. We did see Gosu General Natan one game earlier tonight.
Okay.
He wasn't able to really go out, and he did come through at the end. He came through once he was scaled and really brought down the damage. But like you're saying, they're a setup right now with the double marksman where they need to play less aggressive. They need to farm. But with the team lineup from Extraction, they're not going to allow them to do that, right? They have the team, they have the ability to be very, very aggressive here, especially with that Roger. We saw it the last time they played Roger. They are going to be aggressive. And now you throw in Kufra. Being able to get those sets and picks, I think the Kufra rotation here is going to be key. If he can rotate the bottom and top and get those sets while Roger is ready to go, I think Extraction is going to be very, very aggressive and not let Team Gosu get this scaling with these double marksmen here, man.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense for them to let the game go, but we've seen Gosu not really be able to pull the trigger when they have double marksman. They kind of played around in that break the code game where they had double marksman in the late game. It did go Roger maybe have an early kill onto the Esme diving under the YZ. He still doesn't get it. YZ able to get so much health back from those stacks, and they're going again. There's no help for YZ here. He is trapped under his turret. Esme takes turret aggro. There's juggling it back and forth. Just not enough damage really to finish this one off. They are sticking around a little bit longer, which allows them to have the mid-game advantage in the side of Gosu, taking it to him a little bit as they rotate up top towards this turtle. Now they have 4 members here, and all General's on to that. Esme in the back line. She may be picked off. She's a little bit extended, and Gosu General with first blood. This is going to rotate into first turtle for sure, as Hazan is set up in the mid bush. A little bit of a gank. Jay is waiting for the burst as well as the Roger. Here it comes with the burst from Roger. Can Roger finish this off? He does be able to chase down. Oh, the Eve stun. Perfect timing. And Roger may be a little caught up on the backside here as YZ's on top of him.
Red team
And
hero
oh,
has been
Roger
Bursting
is
down Roger.
Oh man.
Oh
Tank,
my
that's
god,
not
Ben.
good.
I mean, you saw Esme on that top lane really trying to delay those minions, but she was just over. She was there way too long. I mean, the entire team came up from Team Gosu and just shredded her there. And then with that Roger getting bursted down, you talked about Eve ult. That Eve ult was clutch, right? Roger was on the hunt. Eve dropped that CC, forced Roger to have to back off, and he paid for it. He took it. So you're looking at Team Gosu, who we thought was going to play the less aggressive kind of farm, really get their marksmans, the double marksman comp, get their equipment going, taking a 2-0 kill lead over Extraction. But the gold is about the same. We're looking at a 500 gold advantage to Team Gosu here. So you do see that Extraction is trying to play the other objectives. But I mean, look at bottom lane. It's gone. Uzi's just shredding the shield on that, and is going to try and take this entire, and they're going to let him be. They're going up to focus on this turtle. We got another team fight coming up here, Ben.
Yeah, a kill and a turtle, that's worth, but a kill and a turret for a turtle, that changes that dynamic, and you're getting so much gold on a Brody. He's taking down the whole gold shield, and he might take down the turret, and they're going to set up for another dive on Kaja. It looks like Kaja is going to be really relevant in this late game when it comes to picks, but early game, he's going to be abused by that marksman, and it's good to see Brody taking it to him, man. He did have some help in that dive. It wasn't like it was a 1v1, don't get me wrong, but it's good to see Brody getting off to a 1-0 advantage. Both of their marksmen have a 1-kill advantage in their lanes, in their positions, and for a late game scaling team, that's wonderful. The problem is we've seen Gosu do this before, where they get the early game on the double marksman comp, which they're not supposed to, and then kind of lose control of it in the mid game and the late game. So I'm looking for Gosu to shore up their weaknesses here and take this all the way. If they've got the advantage now and they're a late game scaling team, punch Extraction out right now. Take it to a 2-2 and we get a game 5.
And we saw the last time Extraction ran Roger in the jungle. That's exactly what Team Gosu did. They took they didn't have the advantage early game. Big team fight coming in here. It does look like they are going to take down that Kufra, and they do. Brody once again taking another kill. His gold is going to be so advantageous to the other team right now. He is going to be someone to mess with here, and he does have to rotate up top. But, I mean, what can happen here? We're looking at 4 kills to 0 on the side of Team Gosu, who was a team we knew had to scale, but it looks like they're the ones in charge here. They're the ones being aggressive. And not so much being aggressive here, but I think Extraction's getting caught up. They're getting caught out in these lanes. And they're not even trying. I think the one time Esmeralda did extend a little bit, she was a bit aggressive. But the rotation from Team Gosu right now is forcing Extraction to separate, and that's where you're seeing Team Gosu come in with these picks. And now Kaja coming down, the full team rotating down to save this bottom lane, because you look at the damage that's happening. Team Gosu is absolutely annihilating that bottom lane. We're half health on the second turret, pushing up towards that inhibitor now. Team Gosu really controlling the map here, Ben. We're looking at possibly another pick here. Are they going to continue on?
Is this 2 marksmen about to dive Esme on her turret? They've got some help from the mage now. It looks like Esme's buying time, what she needs to do to get out of this, while Kufra's coming up to help. They may be able to set this, but it looks like Esme's going to be taken down by so much damage coming up from a fed Brody. 3-0, 6 minutes into this game. They're going to continue on to Kufra, who at this point in the game doesn't have items. He's paper to that Brody. And YZ does trade the kill down in the bottom lane on the Kaja, so it's good to see them getting one back. No, that's another kill over to the side of Gosu. Forgive me. And now it looks like going into the back line, he's going to be just too much. Roger's trying to do too much. And now it's 7-0. Roger dives there to kind of save the game and get some kills and get it going. But he just feeds more. Trying to do too much when you're behind just ends you in a worse spot. And I expect Gosu to rotate down to this turret and take complete control of this game.
That Yujin ult from Eve now coming in clutch twice on the hyper from the side of Extraction, really stopping that Roger from being the aggressor, able to dive down. I'm loving what I'm seeing from Yujin on that Eve. I absolutely think it's huge gameplay. Team Gosu completely controlling this map right now. Although it's only a 3,000 gold lead, it's an absolute Team Gosu game right now. And we're looking at, they are going to take this turtle, the turtle going to Ruby here, to Rome. But you love to see Team Gosu absolutely had that. But what can Extraction really do here? We thought, and we expected they were going to need the early game, right? Even with Kag here, she's not getting the pick she was able to. Team Gosu's just got such good rotation, and they're really, really controlling this map. Extraction with a 3,000 gold loss here, I mean, they're not going to be the scaling team. So the longer this goes, Natan and Brody are just going to get more
big
fed.
picks
But
onto the
Kufra,
general, maybe. Excellent play by, guess again, Jay on the Kagura. Kufra sets it up, Jay dunks. What a gameplay from this Kagura. Honestly, that may be the spark of life to get them back in this. And like Tank was saying, yes, Gosu has the late game scaling. They're doing incredible damage. Brody's going to take this turret while there's 2 members standing in his face. So much damage onto the members of Extraction. As he lays down the ultimate, Roger is in the backline on top of that. Yeve's not going to be able to escape this time. Roger does get a kill him. Will he get out? Will it cost him his life? It looks like he's running. He's dashing. The YZ's on top of him. Oh, he comes back in, a little bit of damage, and the Brody does take him down for a 5-0 gold on Brody. Brody is so fed at this point in the game, and the scaling is on the side of Gosu, but you have to consider that late game Kaja pick potential. How much will it cost Team Gosu for Kaja to flicker out and grab one of these marksmen and pull him in? Right now, it's not a lot, but as these teams scale and get to the point where one pick changes the dynamic of the game, that Kaja is going to be a gold standard.
And Extraction, making good plays on bot there. We talked about that Kufra set. Kag once again just coming through. Jay just absolutely busting him down, annihilating him, and getting a good push with minions there. But then Team Gosu just answers back, and the damage right now from Gosu. We talked about those double MMs. Natan knocking down that Kaja again, and they are on the hunt. Brody is on the hunt. They are forced to push back. Kaja up there alone in top lane. Team Gosu is not letting off. They have scaled early, and they're only going to scale more. Extraction is looking like they are in trouble here. It doesn't look like they will even be able to contest the Lord with Natan Brody up there shredding it. Ruby coming over to give some vision. Eve's ult zoning out. We talked about that ult being using that ult so well to slow down the Roger, now to zone out the lane, which just gave Team Gosu a free Lord there, Ben.
It's great to see Gosu's adaptation in this game, man. Finally winning an early game and stepping on the gas, baby. We're not stopping. Double marksman comp got ahead. Kagura going to the bush, but who's going to be there to win the pick if he does get it? Brody's taking out his hurt with 3 members in his face, and Kagura does get picked off by extending without his team. Trying to make a set when no one's there is the biggest sin as a tank. You can't go in there when no one's there to support. Doesn't matter if you even do make the set. No one's there to help you. So Kufra does take another def, and that's another kill over to the marksman, who are now a total of 9-1 from the side of Gosu, 9 minutes in. These guys are going to have unstoppable damage in the next 5-10 minutes. I don't think Kaja has even gotten in this game. Maybe it wasn't a comfort pick for them and they tried to pull something out of their hat. It did not work. These marksmen are taking it to them, and honestly, I think Gosu, if they can just keep their foot on the gas, never let Extraction back into this game, I think it sets up for an amazing Game 5.
I mean, they're making Kufra look like he's an assassin out there. He's get bursted down, right? This damage coming from the side of Team Gosu is astounding right now. We're looking at a 4.5, almost 5,000 gold lead on the side of Team Gosu. They've gotten that first objective, that first Lord. We've got 38 seconds until this next Lord is up. They're controlling the map right now. They're making sure the lanes are pushed. They're up here chilling. They've got 30 seconds for Lord, and all of them are so comfortable up here. They own this Lord right now, unless Extraction can find a pick here, can get a push on bottom, which YZ is definitely trying to stop because they are trying to set that Lord up on top lane. I mean, this looks like it's going to be Team Gosu all the way right here. I haven't seen anything that Extraction has shown us where they're going to be able to counter what we've seen. They are setting up for mid lane here. Maybe they're trying to get a pick here, but just doing such a good job controlling the map. It does look like they're trying to bait the Roger out there in mid. Team Gosu's too smart for that. Yuzhin's not going to make it. Yuzhin still has that ult to be able to control this Lord here. And right there, you see it.
Mid lane, Yuzhin does lay down the ultimate. Kagura's picked off. The Ruby does flicker hook him, and that's a terrible set for Kufra. Again, caught out without his team to help him. Just a little bit extended. Trying to make plays when you're 14-2 is really hard for a tank. You want to engage. You see the set, and then your team's just not there to help you because you're so far behind. Now the Lord's being shredded down by double marksman comp. There's no way Extraction comes in and even get close to that. Double marksman now 9-1 still at this 11-minute mark. They have been accelerated by their goal pace, and now it's Yujin. Now it's YZ picking up the kills. Jay going for a pick, and maybe a little bit of an extension though, as Eve doesn't lay the ultimate now. Didn't have her right there. That made a cost of her life if she did have it. Now Brody pushing up the top lane with the Lord, pushing out the mid lane. Want all these waves to crash at the same time. There's one remaining outer turret, and the rest are inhibitors. Extraction does not have much further to back up, tank.
Brody going up there with the biggest tank, even above Uranus, right on top lane with a Lord tank to trying to offset that Esme. Brody's putting down some damage right now, so I think whoever comes up here to try and face off against this Lord is going to have an issue, and you see it there. Esme can't commit here, but Roger's here. Roger now with the side of Esme. Once again, though, Ruby coming up, saving the day. Great. Now is Eve going to get the ult down? Fusion does with Ruby pushing up, and they are going to get a good stake here. Can they get Roger? Are they going to be able to knock him down? They do. Brody just bursts down Roger Ben. Is this it? Is this it for Extraction?
This may be the game as the Lord busted in the top turret. You got a lot of damage coming on the team of Extraction. And no answer from the Kajin, no picks, 2 marksmen bearing down. YZ pushing it on the Kagura, who may yet get it away still. Jay's been making plays on this Kagura all night, but they've got a lot of minions left and a lot of turret pressure. They made this use this to do Lord. A lot of damage goes on to Eugen, but so does it traded back on Jay. The problem is Jay can heal up right here at his fountain. Oh, and Kufra almost get taken by a fed Brody as well. They pushed him off the mid lane turret. They've got a lane in the bottom to work with. I expect Gosu to rotate over to the bottom lane and make it 3-0 inhibitors.
Huge play by that Brody in that back line. We saw that burst damage. He even almost bursted down Kufra again right there, at the base. He is really starting to show us what he's capable of. He's been able to get these early picks, which he's been able to gain this equipment, this gold lead. We're looking at a 8,000 gold lead on the side of Team Gosu now. In these team fights, Team Gosu absolutely annihilating the other team. Kufra kind of really, we respected the gameplay from Kufra in the last game. We saw what he was capable of, but he's pretty irrelevant now with as much damage coming from the side of Team Gosu. And Esmeralda being out here, Ruby being on her, Kufra is going to come in and try to save her here with a nice
Roger
set.
is here in the background. Eve has laid the ultimate. It looks like a lot of damage going on in the Esme. She does slink away just barely, and I believe that's enough to get the team out of Extraction. They're not going to lose right there, right now. They're going to go back to their fountain, heal up as Gosu pushes down the lanes. A lot of minions in the base right now, and they're prepping that bottom lane. Probably going to dive on this turret as Extraction probably should not defend, but may indeed. Now, this is a great point of the game where Extraction can turn this around if Gosu extends here. You've got Kaja who can suppress someone. You've got Kufra. Big sets can be made under turrets here and flip this game on its head. But even with a big pick now, being down almost 10,000 gold, 2 inhibitors down versus 1 turret down on the time of Gosu, even with a big 5-man set ulti, you're going to need to win 2-3 team fights to get back in this game as Extraction. And they're just gotten down so far, down so bad. Even if one of the marksmen dies with all the dive that Extraction can offer, the other marksmen carry the game. It looks like they have a pick, finally. Something going in the way of Extraction. YZ's a little bit extended and gets caught out by probably a Kufra. Oh, no, Kufra engages in the mid. He may be a little bit extended here. He's got 4 members burning him down, and Kufra again extends and engages without his team there to support him. If he's over another kill, it is 4-4 in the mid lane, and this may buy Extraction the time they need to clear out the minions.
This Kufra, who was the set for right there? I mean, going in on 4, I obviously didn't know there were 4 members from Team Gosu there, but going in once again, he's been bursted down at least 3 or 4 times now using that ult to go in and set, and he hasn't learned. He's continuing to do it with no backup from the team. I don't even know what the set's for. I don't know if he's trying to give some vision because maybe they wanted to go for Lord and start setting up around the map. But Kufra is just getting punished this game by the comp from Team Gosu. I did like the pick there from Extraction, getting that YZ taken out. He is going to come back into this play for this next Lord battle, but that really did give them a little bit of time now. And you see Esme up there. It looks like they're going to give up Lord, but Esme at least is trying to get a little push on her lane. She is coming down. I would have stayed on that lane to try to get something out of this because I don't think you're going to get the Lord.
Needs to back away immediately as Team Gosu engages right after taking Lord. It was a clean engage, and now Extraction's just got to run for the hills, honestly. They're so caught off, so spread out. Esme in the backline may draw a little bit of attention, and Ruby does take down the Kagura. Gosu continuing to dive. The Kagura is weak against this 2 marksmen running into him. Natan has been pushed off the fight. It's only Brody left in to do all the damage left in this. Kufra does get picked again, and we have a 2 dead on the side of Extraction. This is what Gosu needs to clean out this game confidently. The Esme's buying time in the background. Flickers in, gets the kill on YZ. What a play coming out from Choppy. Man, excellent gameplay from Esme, buying a little time, getting a kill. Now that buys time for Roger to kill the Ruby, and they may have bought themselves time to stay in this game. Esme finally gets taken down by the Brody. Just so much damage in that. Jay needs to get out of dodge. They got 2 marksmen that can blow him up with at least 3 autos. Jay diving in on a ton, almost makes the play onto it. Brody goes in, kills Roger. They have the Lord on the Nexus, and this is Brody shooting down Nexus. This is going to be game 4, going in the side of Gosu. Ties it up, ready for game 5. Gosu takes it back against Extraction. We're headed into game 5, baby.
We're going all the way here, Ben. I'll tell you, Ruby was snaking some of those kills, but the Ruby Eve duo We talked about it earlier tonight. We talked about it all night. Those two together, Eve dropping down that ult, and Ruby, even when someone gets outside and escapes it, pulling them right back in. You love to see that gameplay. 2-1-12 from Rome. What a game. I mean, absolutely dominating there. But that Brody, Uzi running that Brody, was getting a couple of those kills early game. 8-0-6. I mean, just great gameplay from Team Gosu. They owned it from start to finish. You can just look at the numbers there. Team Gosu took it. They are not here. They said extraction. Yeah. All right.